How's it going?
Going very well.
Do the magnolias look great?
Magnolia we were out under it night before last,
Mhm.
and it was gorgeous. It was just so like it had wrapped us in its arms.
Oh, I'm so gonna have to come by. You keep inviting me for that in Sprite with you and your wife. I'm gonna have to make sure I do that.
Like give us, at least a day's warning, so we'll have a Sprite because we
All right, Mr. Curtis Wilson. If you'll come down, please. Just 1 second. Let me pull you up on the system.
I'm working on the paperwork.
All right, so you're actually scheduled for jury trial today. Your attorney is currently in a trial. So this is what I'm going to do, Mr. Rittenhour. I'm going to recall this for state. Who is on Curtis Wilson? It's evading deadly conduct and ag assault.
That'd be us.
All right, so he's currently in trial in another court. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall this for March 17th. And that'll be for you all to figure out a jury trial date.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
All right, do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Next week is.
All right, Deputy Laura, he can be taken back.
Okay, have a seat.
All right, Tyler Ketchum. Hi. Good morning. So on this one, let me see the motion to revoke that was recalled. I mean, the warrant, the motion you all recalled, a motion to revoke the last time we were here.
Yes.
It was withdrawn, I'm sorry. All right, thank you.
Okay, Judge. Mr. Ketchum went through the veteran treatment court process, and he would have been accepted, but in the end, I believe it was just conflict. He really doesn't feel like the services here in San Antonio would be helpful because he really just does not, he has plans elsewhere. He has applied for the University of Texas in Austin. He really wants to move to Austin. He's provided the courses in which, or the program that he wants to move forward with. He did indicate that there is the veteran treatment court in Austin that he's more than happy to apply for. From my understanding, our veteran treatment court personnel indicates that there's a good possibility that in Austin, they will accept him. He has completed more of his community service hours, and I believe he only has a handful left to complete. Otherwise, all of his terms and conditions here have been met, with the exception, of course, of the Veterans Treatment Court. So Mr. Ketchum wanted to approach the court so that we can see if we can get any type of permission. Would you like to?
Sure.
So that's the community service hours. He provided who the community service hours were signed off by, and then that is the program in which he'd like to proceed with.
All right, so what I can tell everybody is this. He was here, and the reason why he was here, he had a motion to revoke. And that motion to revoke was for failure to participate in Veterans Treatment Court here, and also not conducting himself properly when visiting the supervision office. And everybody agreed to withdraw the motion. And the withdrawing of that motion part of it was because he was going to do Veterans Treatment Court here. So this is what I'm going to say, so that people will not come back to me, so nobody's time is wasted. If he is not accepted in Veterans Treatment Court in Austin, he's not going to be in Austin. He's going to be here doing Veterans Treatment Court. So I don't know how you all are going to make that happen to see if he is going to be accepted there, because I'm not transferring him to Austin unless he is pre-approved for Veterans Treatment Court in Austin. If that doesn't happen, he's here.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else?
No, ma'am, nothing further from the defense. We'll do our best to make sure he's accepted in that program and streamline that, make it as smooth as possible.
All right, thank you. And so his next court date here is on March 17th.
Yes,
So get it done before March 17th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
With that, may we be excused?
Yes, thanks. Court is calling 2021 CR 6023 State versus Israel Moncada. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Steve?
George Schaefer for defendant probationer, Your Honor.
And are you Israel Moncada?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Are you the same Israel Moncada who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 6023 for the offense of evading arrest, detention, using a vehicle on January 10th, 2022 for a period of 2 years and extended for a total of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state. All right, while you're withdrawing, because the allegations in the motion is he's on deferred for evading arrest, detention of a vehicle. And then new number one is driving without a license. And then no valid license. So what's
Sort of the same thing, Judge.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, Judge, so after just confirming the grounds and looking at the recommendation of probation, that is, I guess, the course that we have decided to take. So I don't know if you want to step back and.
Sure.
Judge, Judge, if
We
you,
can
re-
go off the record.
if you recall, Friday I was here and we had actually filed an application to have a bond set on his case
Mhm.
since it is a deferred. But I know that the court would like to go ahead if you can take care of everything.
I'll proceed however, anybody wants to proceed. So why is this motion being withdrawn?
Judge, the court summary indicates they would like to continue him on probation with intensive supervision, supportive outpatient treatment for him to obtain his Texas driver's license within 60 days. They also would like to see about setting a compliance hearing in 60 days to ensure that all of this has been met.
All right, last time we were here when he was, let me see, because this is not his first motion to revoke. So on his previous motion to revoke, I ordered him to be referred to felony drug court out of custody, 120 sober meetings in 120 days. Has he done any of that? Have you done any of that?
Yes.
How many sober meetings have you done?
I have dockets at my home. I have about, they rough draft of 80.
All
on
right.
file.
Judge, he did not meet the criteria for felony drug court.
Why are you driving without a license?
I have no right excuse.
All right, whose car was that?
That's mine and my wife's.
So what are we gonna do about the fact that he's driving without a license?
Judge, first of all, we're gonna try to get him a license again within the 60
Okay,
days.
so that's what you're gonna do? Because you say we.
Metaphorically speaking, Judge. He's going to get his license within 60 days. That's why we want a compliance hearing 60 days from now to show I've gotten my license. It's okay for me to be.
Are you gonna be able to have your license in 60 days?
Certainly, yes, Your Honor.
All right, why don't you have a license? What's going on with that?
Just tickets and payments. I gotta make payment arrangements. I'm barely meeting ends right now.
Mhm.
I'm the head of household. I barely make ends. I have a 1-year-old son. I have a daughter on the way, which I'm not prepared for. But I do everything in my power to make ends. I even donate plasma, do as much side jobs as I can.
Okay.
And
So do you have employment other than the side jobs?
yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
painting.
All right. So let me ask you this. Did you try picking up the phone and calling them and explaining to them about your financial situation as far as your license goes?
I actually made an appointment and it's months. It's like I have set back months before I have that appointment. And I made the appointment so I could go in and know what I need to get it.
All right, who's your appointment with?
I'm not sure. I gotta look at my phone.
No, I mean,
It's
who did,
months.
what government agency did you call?
The DMV. I think I may have missed it, to be honest.
All right, does anybody want to call? Maybe if an attorney were to call the DMV for him today and tell them that the judge would like him to get an appointment as early as possible so they can comply with his conditions of probation, maybe they will move him up ahead of the line.
Wishful thinking, Judge.
Well, I will tell
I
you,
mean-
here's my experience.
Yeah.
I always say, be kind to people. I didn't realize that they started doing this thing where you needed an appointment to get your license renewed.
Judge, if you want to get your license, you make an appointment today. They're gonna set your hearing
No, here's my
to
story.
go in June or July.
You know, like the gospel song says, this is my story, this is my song. So I go in and my license was going to expire the next day. And I didn't trust that you have 30 days nonsense. I just said, let me go in. First of all, San Antonio, I thought it was on, I think that's Ingram or whatever. No, it's no longer there, even though it says. So I go in there and there are notes saying, this is not the place you should be. Yes. So I go to Bandera, I go in there, there's this huge line. Everybody that's in line is telling me, so what time is your appointment? Because my time is, I'm like, what are y'all talking about an appointment for? So I just stay in line and I say a prayer and I go up to the counter. I said, I am so very sorry. I didn't know there was appointments, but my license is about to expire. Meanwhile, somebody at the back of the line is just shouting, being mean and rude because it's taking too long. And they're like, we're going to do our best to fit you in. I'm like, thank you so much. And I'll stay at the back of the line however you want. So 3 hours later, I go there and I have my license. So that's why I say we can pick up the phone, call somebody. You have my permission to say that his probation is tied to him getting a license. Is there any way to get him in sooner? Because this 60 days or 6 months, yeah. So if you all will do that, and I'm going to give you all some numbers that I just Googled. And I will write them down. So if you can call and ask, because I ended up at that one, but somebody says, go to General McMullen. And I was like, that's really out of my way.
I had to get mine in December, and I went all the way to Sabine.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what they do. They'll send you like to Bernie or Castroville or
So,
some other area.
Here's the number. First number is for General McMullen, which they tell me that's a good one. But I do like the one, and I'm not saying other people are nicer than other people, but the one that's on Bandera, was it Bandera or was it Heber?
It is.
Okay, so let me give you this number. Let me see. Oh, I don't like that number. Let me see. Well, whenever they do that 888 number,
You're not
Right.
gonna get through to anybody. You're
Yeah.
gonna get a recorded
Yeah.
message.
so that number, it should be the 531-1000. Is that on there?
Yes,
Yes, so if you can call them and you can let them know. So, Mr. Moncada, this is why I always say communication is key. Now I understand what's going on in your life, and I do understand why you would be driving even though you don't have a license, but you just have to realize you can't do that, okay?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
And I've known people who've sold plasma for extra money. So I understand. So, yes, I'll sign the motion to withdraw.
Just so the court's aware, the state's position is that, but for this allegation, he is in compliance with probation, he's basically a negative UAS, and so that's why we decided to take this.
Okay. And then, do you have a cell phone?
Yes,
Are you able to Zoom?
yes.
All right, so we can do the compliance hearing by Zoom.
Okay.
And what date do y'all want to bring this back? We can do like,
May 20th.
May 20th,
What is that called?
Tuesday. All right, so we'll set this for a compliance hearing on May 20th. And here's the thing. I say this all the time in court. Some defendants take me seriously, others don't. They're like, that can't be true. If you have issues going on in your life, all you have to do is pick up the phone and tell probation. And if you feel like they're not addressing it, all you have to do is come to me and address it. I consider myself very understanding. I would have understand your financial situation. But hey, plan for children, okay? All right, you should be released sometime today at midnight. That's just the way they do it. I have no
Thank you,
control
Your
over
Honor.
that.
Appreciate it very much.
All right, you're welcome. Keep up the good work, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, would you like the amended conditions to
Yeah.
reflect intensive supervision, supportive outpatient treatment, and for him to obtain that license within 60 days?
Well, here's my question. Has he been, I mean, is there anything that he's been using or?
No, Judge, he has actually been negative when he was first placed on probation. And he told the court at that time he had been smoking marijuana. But there was one other positive back in July, but other than that, everything's been negative. He was placed on weekly UAs.
All right, have you been using?
No, ma'am.
All right, here's the thing. You have children. Don't use marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
In this case, you're looking at 10 years in the prison. Don't do that, okay?
I understand, yes.
All right, continue with your sober meetings.
Okay.
Continue with those. So in lieu of your intensive outpatient treatment, I'm going to tell you to continue with your sober meetings, all right? And then what else?
Just his license within 60-day, Judge.
All right, so
And
we'll,
the Zoom hearing.
yeah, we'll put down license within 60 days. We're going to see where you are on that on May 20th. Your attorney's going to call those numbers and see if you can get ahead.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, nobody else use my name for that though.
And no amended conditions. And no amended conditions.
No, he seems to be doing well. Could I see a reset form? Oh, Norma, there you are. Norma, this is Israel Moncada.
Yes, ma'am.
If you can give him a reset form for May 20th, and it's going to be compliance hearing, he can do that by Zoom. Yes, and then once you all have the withdrawal, just hand it to me. All right, do you need anything else from the court? Anything I can help you with?
No, ma'am, that's it.
All right, good luck, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh, they need to, she's gonna need to give him the reset form, okay? Oh, man, your guy's background is like from one of those sci-fi movies.
Yeah, it's like a green filter. It's kind of
Yes.
interesting. Yeah. I don't think he did it on
I don't know
purpose.
what I did with my camera, but I got.
Oh, no, that's okay. All right, so,
So Mr. Garrett Hand provided me the discovery for the case on a thumb drive.
okay,
I have reviewed what he has given me.
Mhm.
It was all reports. There weren't any videos. He's saying there aren't any videos, so take him at his word. They have conveyed an offer to us today. So we would like time, I'd like time to review with my client. He's finishing up at an outpatient aftercare facility.
okay.
And so
When is your outpatient treatment completed, Mr. Brasinio?
April 17th of 2025.
All right, Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
if you recall this for April 28th for plea deadline date, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wait, let me ask you something. That's Fiesta week. Okay, so here's the promise I made, and I'm doing my best to keep it. And look, Bashan just gave me the side eye. So Deputy Laura and everybody loved to say that they were like children when there's a snow day, but I was still making them go out in the snow.
No.
So
We were the kids inside the house. looking at the
they were
kids
inside
outside.
looking at the
I
snow.
like having to watch, yeah. Especially,
So
yeah.
during Fiesta, they had a jury trial. Well, but see, you know what? At the end of the day, they're gonna look back on this when they fall upon hard times, and they're gonna say, this prepared us.
Well, it was, it's like everybody has their own personal, what Trump said,
Yeah,
their own personal Vietnam. That's
Yeah.
what it was like.
all right, so this is gonna be called back for a plea deadline date on and your treatment is outpatient?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so this is what we'll do. His treatment is outpatient. We're gonna recall this back for April 17th,
Okay, yeah,
and that'll be the plea deadline date. And he can appear by Zoom.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, you can appear by Zoom, and that'll be for April 17th. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
I'll give you a call.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Thanks. All right, court is calling. Hello.
Hi.
Court is calling 2024 CR 010681 State versus Sandra Gaytan. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Ashley Morgan.
And are you Sandra Gaytan?
Yes, I am.
Is it Gaytan or Gaytan?
Thank you.
Gaytan.
I'm you saying it right.
Oh, okay, thank you.
That first time.
Oh, thanks. Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, I did.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. State recommends community supervision, ignition interlock for half the term, 2-year driver's license suspension. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge. And we do have some things to go over with you when you're ready after you've done sentencing.
All right. Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 100 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? And do you understand with a DWI third conviction, there is a 10-day jail sanction as a condition of probation? Did you understand that?
Yes.
All right, then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no
No
contest?
contest.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Gaytan has been enrolled in AA. Here's her proof of attendance. She goes
Every day,
every day.
every day.
She's also completed her victim impact panel up front.
Mhm.
She's enrolled in her DWI education.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, her DWI intervention. She's currently on a portable alcohol monitoring device at 3 specimens per day.
Correct.
She does not have access to a vehicle. She has not had access to a vehicle since this incident. And so we are asking that you do consider allowing her to continue on that affidavit of non-driving and continue on the portable device. And then with regards to the 10 days in jail, we ask that you either hold it in abeyance or allow her to do it via house arrest.
Okay. All right, are you employed?
I'm looking for a job right now.
Okay.
She does care for her elderly mother and she's in school.
All right, this caring for the elderly mother, is that something where she receives payment?
Do you receive?
No.
I'm sorry,
I believe she's, are you,
do you
I'm
receive
looking,
payment?
I'm looking for a helper.
but you're not being
Excuse me,
paid.
No,
stop
yes,
with the
ma'am.
conversation.
Oh.
Do you receive payment for taking care of your mom?
Yes, I do.
All right, so that's going to stop because the court doesn't allow home health care people to be home health care providers. So you're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
So do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
What are their ages?
29, 20, 28, and 7.
7?
Yes,
And where's your 7-year-old? Does your
That's cool.
7-year-old live with you?
yes.
All right, so you're going to have to get employment.
Okay.
Is there a reason you're not working?
Because it's difficult for me to, it's, no driving, no none of that. What I'm trying to do is do a job at home while it pays, while I stay home and pay any of the bills that I have to pay now.
All right, so
Mhm.
you're going to have to get a job. I
Okay.
require everybody in this court to have employment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding you guilty. Court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. There's going to be a portable device for half the term with an affidavit of non-driving. Are there any vehicles at your home?
No, ma'am.
If you have a vehicle at your home or one that you have access to, it's going to need to have an ignition interlock. So do you have any access to any vehicles?
No, ma'am, I don't.
All right, probation, if you'll make sure that's the case. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month. for 4 months. There's going to be a referral to felony drug court and a TAP evaluation out of custody. There's going to be daily sober support meetings until further notice. Proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. So if you continue to receive payment for caring for your mother and the court finds about it, which it will, that's going to be a violation. Your probation and a motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand?
I understand.
There is going to be full GPS for 10 days. Waive fees. And GPS is to be installed no later than March 21st. Is that enough time?
Yes, Judge, it's gonna go through the jail,
Yes.
yes.
So no later than March 21st. There should be the victim VIP live, DWI education, 100 hours community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Make sure they're checking for alcohol. Driver's license suspension for 2 years.
Judge, her license was suspended as a condition of the ALR. Would you consider running those concurrent? I have those dates.
Let's see how she does and then I'll think about it.
Okay.
Probation, and there will be, is there anything else probation?
On the DWI course, did you want the education or the intervention? The education's 12 hours, intervention is 32.
Well, the problem is her DWIs are so close in time. Usually in this court, I order both.
Okay.
All right. So DWI intervention as well. All right. So I'm going to go off the record. Here's the thing. DWIs, you could have killed somebody. You could have killed somebody with a child.
Correct.
And I mean, you're saying correct, but you need to internalize it because guess what? Maybe there's a DWI driver out there somewhere and maybe your children are in the car and there's somebody out on the road intoxicated. I have yet to meet somebody who has a DWI who has committed an intoxication assault or intoxication manslaughter who said, yeah, I picked up a drink and my goal was I'm going to go out and kill somebody. Nobody ever think it's going to happen to them. They're just always thinking I can handle it. Best thing, if you're going to drink at all, here's the thing. Arrange for an Uber. Now they have Ubers, Lyft, taxis, Via, or you can have somebody who is a designated driver. I was always the designated driver for my group because I don't like the taste of alcohol. Worked out great for me because I had free sodas and free lunch, but that's what you need to do. And you're one of those persons who can't drink at all. That's why you have 3 DWIs. You understand?
I understand.
All right. All right, thank you. Oh, and Bashan, just do a MIC evaluation too.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, Virginia Ramos. All right, Counsel, did you have a chance to review the violation report?
I did, Your Honor,
All right,
and I've conferred with the state.
all right, so what do you all propose? Because she has this violation report for use. So you're not under oath. How often are you using?
I just turned 60.
Oh, well, happy birthday. How often are you using?
I'm done.
Well, no, you still not answering my question. How often are you using?
Maybe every other week or.
All right, so here's the thing, if it's every other week. Do I need to have you leave here and go do a drug test? I'll have you do a drug test today.
I came out negative the first time. I did come out positive.
No, you're not listening to me. I will have you go and do a UA now. So I understand it's your 60th birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh,
But my
no,
question
that's-
is, are you gonna be positive today?
No.
All right, so I'm gonna have you go do a UA. Is this gonna be a waste of a UA? All right, so what are you gonna be positive for?
um,
All right, so again, we're back to my question. How often are you using?
Hey, it'd be like once a week.
No, it's not once a week because who would use cocaine? Cocaine only stays in your system for a specific amount of time. Who would use cocaine knowing they're coming to court today?
I don't do it every day. I don't do it every day.
Okay, it's not once a week either. I don't believe it's once a week. We go from, I don't do that anymore because I'm 60. Then we go to, it's every other week. And then it's like, I don't do that anymore. Then it's, yeah, I'm gonna be clean. Then I'm like, am I gonna waste the UA on you? Yeah, it's gonna be wasted.
I will
Now it's cocaine. So how often are you using? I'm trying to give you conditions of bond so that you can stay on bond. When they send me these reports with violation reports, I can always choose the option to issue a judge's warrant and remand you without bond.
Okay.
So I am trying to figure out what can be done to help you get your life in order. So how often are you using? Just be honest. This time now is for honesty.
Maybe once or twice a week. Because I went, the first time I know I came out positive. And then he said, before I go, the pretrial, he said, you know, if you come out clean 4 weeks in a row, and then you will be changed to monthly. So I went the following week and I did come out negative. So I'm due again for another UA this Thursday, which I'm gonna be negative.
So you're just timing your use. That's what it
Yeah.
sounds like to me. All right, this is what the court is going to do. There is going to be a referral to lifetime recovery. Do you have any children that live at home with you?
He's 23, 22.
You got to make a good example for your 23-year-old. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's going to be a referral to lifetime recovery. And I'm going to want 120 sober meetings in 120 days. And there's going to be random UAs. And I'll waive fees. And you are to report to pretrial services today by 11:30 a.m. Is there anything else, counsel?
No, yeah.
All right, so here's the thing. You're on bond for a drug case. It appears that you're still using. You've got to stop because otherwise your body could be the body that your son will have to identify in a field somewhere. If you have issues where you see you continuing to use, just come to court so we can save all our time here and get you into a place that can help you maintain your sobriety. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. And thank you for dressing appropriately for.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Court is calling 2024 CR 010883 State of Texas versus Roland Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Opinion for the state of Texas.
defense?
John Pettis for defense.
And are you Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitation? That is a Class A misdemeanor. Range of punishment is anywhere from a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with the complainant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Judge.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be 60 hours of community service restitution. The BIP course, TAP evaluation, and follow all recommendations. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, I'm sorry, to the lesser included offense, how do you plead?
No contest, Your Honor.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I just asked that you follow the agreement, Judge.
All right, are you employed?
Yes,
What do you do?
I'm a driver for Five Star Cleanup, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
So why did you do this?
I have no excuse and no reason. I just admit that I was there.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, I just admit that I was there. Yes.
I mean, what do you mean you admit you were there? There are things in the police report that you've stipulated to that you did. So I'm trying to figure out, where is your anger coming from?
I have no excuse, Your Honor.
So why are you drinking? She says you get this way when you're intoxicated.
I have no excuse, Your Honor.
No, my question is, why are you drinking? You're not allowed to drink while you're on probation. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you mentally that would cause you to be violent against, I'm assuming this is someone that you claimed you loved.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why are you being violent with her?
Your Honor, I was alcohol related. I was not in the state of mind that I thought I was at the time of everything. Why do you drink? Why do I drink? Is because I have things that I'm dealing with internally and I have no other way of, or not no other way, but I'm trying to find a better way to cope. I do understand that drinking is not a way to cope or to move past anything. Sadly, I have been using it to cope in the past, but it's not the way that I wish to live.
Clarify, have you had any alcohol? If the judge drug tested you right now, would you come out clean?
Yes, I'll come up clean.
Thank you. Didn't want any of that to be misconstrued, Judge.
Mhm. So are you currently in a relationship with anyone? All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to grant your application, but during these 2 years that you're on deferred adjudication for, you need to do some soul searching with yourself. Don't get in a relationship with anybody because you're not ready for a relationship with anybody. You need to find out who you are and why you behave the way you behave before you can get in a relationship with anybody else. Because 1, you could be going to prison right now. 2, could be somebody else who, it's like the song, Bad, Bad Leroy Brown. Turns out he wasn't the baddest man in the town, right? So you're going to have to look internally and discover why you're doing the things you're doing. Probation, if there's some trauma issues in your past, probation can help you with that. They can set you up with a therapist. Somebody, maybe you need to speak to a therapist. Sometimes we need to speak to a complete stranger about our issues who is qualified to hear it, who can do something other than just gossiping about what you told them. You understand?
Right.
All right. Do you have any family members here? Any support that you
Yes.
have in Bear County?
Mom's here. My mom and my sister in the back.
All right. So if you can't talk to them, they'll have somebody. So what have you been doing to address this alcohol issue?
As far as this alcohol issue right now, I have been finding forms of meditation and other forms of extracurricular activities such as working out and focusing on work primarily on to keep from the best turning side of hands.
All right. So here's the thing. Whenever you drink alcohol, if you're blaming your conduct on alcohol, that means that you're one of those people who cannot drink alcohol at all. So you need to completely eliminate that. You understand? And you're going to have to eliminate it while you're on probation because you're not allowed to drink alcohol on probation. You're not allowed to use marijuana. Don't come back to me saying that you're testing positive because you're drinking, because you're using mouthwash or whatever, you understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. 2 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, tests for alcohol. There is to be 60 sober meetings in 60 days. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Zoe Kelly. There's to be the BIPP course, TAP evaluation, out of custody, follow TAP recommendations. Probation, if TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. And if they recommend outpatient treatment, we're still going to start with intensive outpatient treatment. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And then we'll do a MIC evaluation and a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. Probation, is there anything? And there is going to be 80 hours of community service restitution. How far did you go in school?
I've graduated out of high school.
All right, what's your dream job? What's your plan?
Plan on now is being an EMT.
All right, so if he obtains his EMT license, then the court will consider the community service hours satisfied. So whether you're obtaining your license or picking up trash in the San Antonio heat when it's 100 degrees is completely up to you. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And there'll be field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. All right, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, let the probation officer know what your issue is. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. If you feel like you need more treatment, let them know. If you feel they're not giving you help with mental health treatment or any other type of treatment, you can always come back to court. And what I can tell you is I do not penalize people for coming in and saying that they need more help. My goal and what I hope for you is to be successful on probation. And if you complete everything early and if the state has no objections, then I'll let you off early. All right, good luck to you. Just remain in court and go over conditions with probation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one.